How's it going, guys? Ray Regno here with Movement RX. We're continuing in our series in our recovery videos for the 2016 CrossFit Games Open competition. One of the things that I heard a lot last night and this morning when people were doing the workout is that their forearms were smoked. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some good old-fashioned barbell smashing. Got a barbell here, right here. I like to use the narrow part of the bar here. Some people like to use the fatter part just because it's a little bit more diffused. Pick your poison. What we're going to do is we're going to lay down parallel to the bar. I'm going to take my arm and stick it right underneath here. And I'm just going to kind of hunt around, look for spots that are gross, like right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just kind of flossing through, flexing and extending that wrist. If you feel any numbness or tingling, that's not a good thing. Move the bar over a little bit so that stops, and that's a little bit better right there. And just kind of floss through for 2 minutes here, being mindful of not impinging a nerve. So if you feel a zing or some numbness in your finger, you probably hit a nerve and move the barbell somewhere else. Okay, so spend about 2 minutes here, and then we're going to flip the arm over with our palm facing down, and this is usually the really gross part for most people, and right in there is really special. So I'm going to spend some time flossing there, trying to keep a zen face, try to keep breathing, don't pass out. Passing out's not okay. So 2 minutes here, just enjoy that nice little vein pump. Can't see it on camera, but I've got a pretty nasty vein popping out right there. So kind of work through here, and it'll help loosen up those forearms. Okay, that's part one. Part two of our supplification process, if that's even a phrase, is to attack the pecs, the anterior shoulder, and open up some biceps here. We did a lot of pulling in this workout, so we want to open that up. Quick thing though, make sure that you're not doing this cold. Get hot and sweaty, do a few push-ups, do a few kipping swings on the bar, just to kind of get some blood flow in here before you do any stretching. You don't want to stretch cold tissue. Here's the setup. I've got a bar on the back side of the rig over here. Okay, it's about over my head height here. And then the bottom bar is about halfway between my sternum and my belly button. You're going to have to experiment with this because everyone's limb lengths are different, everyone's torsos are different lengths. You're going to have to play with this. The general idea is that I'm going to want to grab onto the bar with a narrow grip here, and I'm going to hang myself down. And the bottom bar here, this bottom one, is like right in the back, middle of my back. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a big belly breath in, and exhale, and try to sink into the stretch. Okay, one more time, big breath in. Exhale, and just kind of sink into that stretch. I've got my feet, I'm reaching back behind me here. One other thing you want to keep in mind is through butt squeeze, you don't want to be overextending too much. So protect the low back by squeezing your butt. Okay? This is a variation on hanging from the bar, from the pull-up bar, and having a friend push you by pushing on the upper back here. But this is a cool way to do this by yourself if you're alone or if you don't have any friends. Here's another variation of that thing we just did a second ago. It's a little bit more passive and not as aggressive, and it's a whole lot easier to set up. So I'm going to show you this one also. Set up a pair of rings about shoulder height. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand a little bit away from the rings, my arms straight. I've got a 90-degree angle here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lean in, keep my butt squeezed to protect my low back, and I'm going to rotate my palms out so they're facing out. I'm going to set my toes down so my shoelaces are on the floor. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big breath in, hold it for a few seconds, exhale, and sink deeper into that position. Okay, all the while keeping my butt squeezed to protect my low back. Big breath in, exhale, trying to drive my hips into the ground. Okay, if your thighs are touching the floor, that means the rings are too low. So set it up so you have a little bit of space. Big breath in, open. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Okay? Try that for a few breaths. Alright, final thing is super simple. We're just going to spend some time hanging from the bar. We do a whole lot of work with our palms facing this direction. We're going to change it up and go in this direction. And the goal here is to try to open up the lats, open up the triceps, open up the pecs by lengthening this position here. So it looks like this. I'm just going to hop up. I'm going to lower myself down into a nice passive hang. My biceps are in my ears. I'm going to take a big breath into my nose. Hold it for a few seconds. Exhale. exhale and let myself lengthen. Okay. One of the things I want to do is I want to try and keep my rib cage down, so I don't want to be hanging overextended like this. I'm going to try to keep my ribs down in this position here, trying to optimize that overhead position, and really just allowing that my body weight to help lengthen my lats and my triceps and my pecs and the shoulders and all of that jazz there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send us a message at movement-rx.com. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week.